So you work on this eggplant for around 7 minutes and you see it gets some nice burniness and a nice flavor extract out of it. After around 7 to, I don't know, 8 minutes, something like that, that you see that it gets to the right color. Again, it doesn't have to be completely even. You know, some pieces might be more cooked than the other. Of course, you know, some folks would have some hot spots, so that's normal. At that point, we are going to add our garlic, our shallots, love shallots, and our onion. And we're going to let it cook for another 2 or 3 minutes, mixing it all together. If you get a sense that this thing get a little bit dry, you can add a little butter to it at this point, or just a little bit of water. I don't think so. I think it needs a little bit, you know, I think this looks pretty much okay, you know. Again, you know, the onion is going to release some liquid as it cooks, so don't worry if the pan get a little, if it looks like it's too hot or too dry, that's the way it should look. It's like a nice eggplant salsa already here in the pan. And this recipe, the way we do it today, we divide it into 2 steps. We're going to finish up everything we need before the guests come and save one element for the end that we're going to actually do right as we cook in the pasta, basically. Very simple, you know, you can make it in advance a few hours before your guest comes, and then you don't have to, you know, sweat in the kitchen as they come. You simply add one ingredient and everything is ready. Very, very nice. You see the seeds are beginning to come out of the eggplant. Very, very nice. Even my dogs here are really excited from all the smell that comes out of this pasta. Right, Daddy? That's right. Yeah, see, they just can't hide it. Enough, dogs. See, this is kind of like the type of texture that you wanted to get. The onions are beginning to soften. Everything begins to come together really nicely. So around like, you know, 2 or 3 minutes into that, we're going to add the basil in. Make sure you save a little bit of basil for the garnishing. So not all the basil. It's going to add a lot of basil, but not all of it. The dogs are going completely bananas from this flavor here. Dolly, come on. Okay, they just seem to have enough. You know. I don't blame them. Now you see the flavor of the basil, immediately it begins to smell. It smells almost like a Thai dish at this point. But it's actually a classic Italian dish. Especially when you get the mozzarella to it. Simply delicious. I love when, you know, when we add basil into actual cooked recipes, not just like, you know, not just as garnish, but actually mixed in the recipe. I think it adds a really, really nice layer of flavor. And you don't have to do a lot of seasoning when you do that. The basil has carry a lot with it. This comes together really, really nice. Again, you know, we don't tolerate to work a lot, like 1 or 2 minutes. We have the basil here. Perfect. At this point, we're going to add a dash of balsamic to it. Just a little bit. Not too much. Maybe it was a little too much. But I love balsamic, so, you know, I think it has a nice flavor to it already. And at this point, this dish begins to need more liquid. You will be able to feel it. It's nice to smell the flavor of the balsamic out of it too. Some pepperoncino here, red pepper flakes. Again, to your taste. I like it a little spicy, so I'm going to add a little more. Not too much. Pretty much it. And our tomatoes. I'm using half canned tomatoes, half regular tomatoes, pretty much. Mix it a little bit. Very nice. Unbelievable. I'm starving. This feels like it's going to be an amazing dinner with this dish. You can see the colors of this beef. I didn't chop the tomatoes in the can, I kind of left them whole. The other tomatoes, the fresh tomatoes, I did chop them. I like to have that type of variety. If you have heirloom tomatoes, if you have tomatoes with different colors, it would make this dish even nicer in the way I'm making it right now. And that's pretty much it. At this point, we're going to let it cook for around 15 minutes and turn it off. We're going to cover it and wait for the guests. When the guests are here, we're going to add the missing ingredients, and that's it. That's our dish. We're going to cook the pasta, blend it in, and eat.